فاعترفوا بذنبهم فسحقا لأصحاب السعير.
Thus will they confess their sins. Damned are these inmates of the blazing fire.
17. The word damned, sin, has been used in the singular. It means that the real sin because of which they became worthy of hell was to belie the messengers and refuse to obey them. All other sins are its consequences.
إن الذين يخشون ربهم بالغيب لهم مغفرة وأجر كبير.
Surely, forgiveness and a mighty reward await those who fear Allah without seeing Him.
19. That is, there are two inevitable results of fearing God unseen. 1. That whatever good acts a man performs on the basis of this belief, he will be rewarded richly for them. 20. The address is to all human beings, whether they are believers or unbelievers. For the believer, it contains the admonition that while living his life in the world he should always remember that not only his open and hidden deeds but even his secret intentions and innermost thoughts are not hidden from Allah. And for the unbeliever, the warning that he may do whatever he may please fearless of God, but nothing that he does can remain unnoticed and unseen by him. 20.
وَأَسِرُّوا قَوْلَكُمْ أَوْ اجْهَرُوا بِهِ إِنَّهُ عَلِيمٌ بِذَاتِ الصُّدُورِ.
Whether you speak in secrecy or aloud, it is all the same to Allah. He even knows the secrets that lie hidden in the breasts of people.
20. The address is to all human beings, whether they are believers or unbelievers. For the believer, it contains the admonition that while living his life in the world he should always remember that not only his open and hidden deeds but even his secret intentions and innermost thoughts are not hidden from Allah. And for the unbeliever, the warning that he may do whatever he may please fearless of God, but nothing that he does can remain unnoticed and unseen by him. 20.
ألا يعلم من خلق وهو اللطيف الخبير.
Would he not know He who has created, when He is all subtle, all aware? Would he?
21. Another translation can be, would he not know his own creatures? In the original text kalaka has been used, which may mean, who has created as well as whom he has created. In both cases the meaning remains the same. This is the argument for what has been said in the preceding sentence. That is, how is it possible that the Creator should be unaware of His creation? The creation may remain unaware of itself, but the Creator cannot be unaware of it. He has made every vein of your body, every fiber of your heart and brain. You breathe because He enables you to breathe. Your limbs function because He enables them to function. How then can anything of yours remain hidden from Him? 22. The word latif as used in the original means the one who works in imperceptible ways as well as the one who knows the hidden truths and realities. 17. The word
هو الذي جعل لكم الأرض ذلولا فامشوا في مناكبها وكلوا من رزقه وإليه النشور.
He it is who made the earth subservient to you, so traverse in its tracks and partake of the sustenance He has provided. To Him will you be resurrected.
23. That is, this earth has not become subdued for you of its own accord, and the provisions also that you are eating have not become available here by themselves. But Allah has so arranged it by His wisdom and power that your life became possible here, and this splendid globe became so peaceful that you are moving about on it with full peace of mind. And it has become such a vast table spread with food that it contains endless and limitless provisions for your sustenance. If you are not lost in heedlessness and look about yourself intelligently, you will find how much wisdom underlies in the making of this earth habitable for you and arranging in it immeasurable stores of provisions for you. For explanation see NS 73, 74, 81 of Surah An-Naml, NS 29, 32 of Surah Yasin, NS 90, 91 of Al-Mu'min, N 7 of Surah Az-Zukhruf, N 7 of Surah Al-Jathiyah, N 18 of Surah Kaf, 24. That is, while you move about on the earth and eat of what Allah has provided for you here, You should not forget that ultimately you have to appear before God one day.
أأمنتم من في السماء أن يخسف بكم الأرض فإذا هي تمور.
Do you feel secure that he who is in the heaven will not cause the earth to cave in with you, and then suddenly it will begin to rock violently?
25. This does not mean that Allah lives in the heavens, but it has been so said because man naturally looks up to the heaven whenever he wants to turn to Allah, raises his hands heavenward in prayer, and implores Allah, turning his eyes up to heaven whenever he finds himself helpless in an affliction. Then whenever a calamity befalls him suddenly, he says it has descended from heaven. Whenever something unusual happens, he says it has come from heaven. And he calls the books revealed by Allah as heavenly books. Accordingly to a tradition in Abu Dud, a person came before the Prophet, peace be upon him, with a black slave girl and said, "It has become obligatory on me to set a slave free. Can I set this slave girl free?" Prophet, peace be upon him, asked the slave girl, "Where is Allah?" She pointed heavenward with her forger. The Prophet, peace be upon him, asked, "Who am I?" She first pointed towards him and then towards the heaven, by which she obviously meant to say, "You have come from Allah." Thereupon the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Set her free, she is a believer." A story closely resembling this has been narrated in Muwatta, Muslim and Nasai also. About Qalab bint Taibah, Umar once said to the people, "She is the lady whose complaint was heard above the 7 heavens." In E.N. 2 of Surah Al-Mulk, we have given full details concerning this. All this clearly shows that it is natural with man that whenever he thinks of God, his mind turns to the heaven above and not to the earth below. In view of this very thing, the words man fis sama, he who is in the heaven, have been used about Allah. There is no room here for any doubt that the Quran regards Allah Almighty as living in the heaven. In fact, there cannot be any basis for this doubt, for in the very beginning of this Surah Al-Mulk, it has been stated, He who created 7 heavens, one above the other, and in Surah Al-Baqarah it has been said, "You will face Allah in whatever direction you turn your face." Verse 115.
أَمْ أَمِنْتُمْ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاءِ أَنْ يُرْسِلَ عَلَيْكُمْ حَاصِبًا فَسَتَعْلَمُونَ كَيْفَ نَذِيرٌ.
Do you feel secure that He who is in the heaven will not let loose upon you a storm of stones? Then you shall know what my warning is like.
26. The object is to impress this. Your very survival and well-being on the earth are at all times dependent upon Allah Almighty's grace and bounty. You are not strutting about on this earth that will by your own power. You are under obligation only to Allah's protection for each moment of your life that you are passing here. Otherwise Allah at any moment may cause such an earthquake to occur as may make this very earth to become your grave instead of the cradle that it is, or may cause a windstorm to blow, razing all your towns and settlements to the ground. 27. My warning, the warning that was being given through the Prophet, peace be upon him, and the Quran to the disbelievers of Makkah to the effect, if you do not refrain from your disbelief and polytheism and do not accept the message of Tawhid being given to you, you will be overtaken by the scourge of God.
وَلَقَدْ كَذَّبَ الَّذِينَ مِن قَبْلِهِمْ فَكَيْفَ كَانَ نَكِيرٌ.
Those who came before them also gave the lie to the messengers. Then how awesome was my chastisement.
28. The allusion is to the communities who had belied the messengers, who had come to them previously and consequently been afflicted with divine punishment.
أَوَلَمْ يَرَوْا إِلَى الطَّيْرِ فَوْقَهُمْ صَافَّاتٍ وَيَقْبِضْنَ مَا يُمْسِكُهُنَّ إِلَّا الرَّحْمَنُ إِنَّهُ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ بَصِيرٌ.
Have they not seen birds above them spreading and closing their wings, with none holding them except the Merciful One? He oversees everything.
29. That is, each bird that flies in the air, does so in the protection of the All-Merciful God. He it is who has given to each bird the form and structure by which it became able to fly. He it is who has taught each bird the method to fly. He it is who has made the air obey the laws by which it became possible for the heavier-than-air bodies to fly in it, and He it is who upholds every bird in the air. Otherwise, the moment Allah withdraws His protection from it, it drops to the ground. 30. That is, this is not confined only to birds, but whatever exists in the world, exists because of Allah's keeping and guardianship. He alone provides the means necessary for the existence of everything, and He alone keeps watch that everything created by Him is provided with the necessities of life. All this
أَمَّنْ هَذَا الَّذِي هُوَ جُندٌ لَكُمْ يَنصُرُكُم مِّن دُونِ الرَّحْمَنِ إِنِ الْكَافِرُونَ إِلَّا فِي غُرُورٍ.
Which is your army that will come to your aid against the merciful Lord, but the unbelievers are in utter delusion.
31. Another translation can be, who is there beside the merciful, who comes to your rescue as your army? The translation that we have adopted in the text above has relevance to the following sentence, and is second to the preceding discourse.
أَمَّنْ هَذَا الَّذِي يَرْزُقُكُمْ إِنْ أَمْسَكَ رِزْقَهُ بَلْ لَجُّوا فِي عُتُوٍّ وَنُفُورٍ.
Who shall provide for you if He withholds His sustenance? Nay, but they persist in rebellion and aversion.
أَفَمَن يَمْشِي مُكِبًّا عَلَى وَجْهِهِ أَهْدَىٰ أَمَّن يَمْشِي سَوِيًّا عَلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ.
Who is better guided, he who walks groveling on his face, or he who walks upright on a straight path?
32. Walking fallen on his face. Walking with face turned down like the cattle on the same track on which someone put him.
قُلْ هُوَ الَّذِي أَنشَأَكُمْ وَجَعَلَ لَكُمُ السَّمْعَ وَالْأَبْصَارَ وَالْأَفْئِدَةَ قَلِيلًا مَا تَشْكُرُونَ.
Say, He it is who has brought you into being, and has given you hearing and sight, and has given you hearts to think and understand. How seldom do you give thanks?
33. That is, Allah had made you men, not cattle. You were not meant to follow blindly whatever error and deviation you found prevailing in the world, without considering for a moment whether the way you had adopted was right or wrong. You have not been given these ears that you may refuse to listen to the one who tries to distinguish the right from the wrong for you, and may persist in whatever false notions you already had in your mind. You have not been given these eyes that you may follow others like the blind and may not bother to see whether the signs scattered around you in the world testify to the unity of God, which the messenger, peace be upon him, of God is preaching, or whether the system of the universe is godless, or is being run by many gods simultaneously. Likewise, you have also not been given this knowledge and intelligence that you may give up thinking and understanding to others and may adopt every crooked way that was enforced by somebody in the world, and may not use your own intellect to see whether it was right or wrong. Allah has blessed you with knowledge and intelligence, sight and hearing, so that you may recognize the truth, but you are being ungrateful to Him in that you are employing these faculties for every other object than the one for which these had been granted. For further explanation, see NS 72, 73 of Surah An-Naml, NS 75, 76 of Surah Al-Mu'minun, NS 17, 18 of Surah As-Sajda, and 31 of Surah Al-Aqaf.
To know the truth.
قُلْ هُوَ الَّذِي ذَرَأَكُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَإِلَيْهِ تُحْشَرُونَ.
Say, Allah it is who multiplied you in the earth, and to Him you will be mustered.
34. That is, after being resurrected from death, you will be gathered together from every corner of the earth and presented before Allah. 31.
وَيَقُولُونَ مَتَى هَذَا الْوَعْدُ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ.
They say, if you are truthful, tell us, when will this promise of the hereafter be fulfilled?
35. They did not ask this question in order to know the time and date of resurrection, so that if they were told the year, the month, the day and time of its occurrence, they would accept it. But in fact, they thought that resurrection was impossible, and its occurrence remote from reason, and they asked this question in order to have an excuse for denying it. They meant to say, when will this strange story of resurrection and gathering together, that you are telling us, materialize? What for has it been put off? Why don't you make it appear forthwith so that we are assured of it? In this connection, one should understand that one can be certain of resurrection only by rational arguments, and these have been elaborated at many places in the Quran. As for the date of its occurrence, only an ignorant person could raise such a question about it, for even if it is told, it does not make any difference. The unbeliever would say, well, when it does occur on the date you tell, I shall then believe in it. How can I believe today that it will actually occur on that very day? For further explanation, see N. 63 of Surah Luqman, E. N. 116 of Surah Al-Ahzab, E. N. S. 5, 48 of Surah Saba, E. N. 45 of Yasin, 3.
قل إنما العلم عند الله وإنما أنا نذير مبين.
Say, Allah alone knows about that, and I am no more than a plain warner.
36. That is, this I know that it will certainly come, and knowing this much only is enough for warning the people before its actual occurrence. As for the question when it will actually come, the knowledge of it is with Allah, not with me, and there is no need of this knowledge for administering the warning. This can be better understood by an example. As to the exact time when a person will die, it is only known to Allah. However, all know that everyone has to die one day. This knowledge is enough that we may warn a heedless friend of ours that he should look after himself and his interests before death. For this warning it is not necessary to know the exact day on which he will die.
فَلَمَّا رَأَوْهُ زُلْفَةً سِيئَتْ وُجُوهُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا وَقِيلَ هَذَا الَّذِي كُنتُم بِهِ تَدَّعُونَ.
When they will see it near at hand, the faces of all those who had denied it will be distraught, and then they will be told, this is the doom which you used to ask for.
37. That is, they will be in the same agony as is suffered by the criminal who is being taken to the gallows. 35.
قُلْ أَرَأَيْتُمْ إِنْ أَهْلَكَنِيَ اللَّهُ وَمَنْ مَعِيَ أَوْ رَحِمَنَا فَمَنْ يُجِيرُ الْكَافِرِينَ مِنْ عَذَابٍ أَلِيمٍ.
Say to them, did you ever consider whether Allah destroys me and those that are with me, or shows mercy to us, who can protect the unbelievers from a grievous chastisement?
38. When the Prophet, peace be upon him, started his mission in Mecca and the members of the different clans of Quraysh began to embrace Islam, the people of every house started cursing him and his companions. They started practicing magic and charms on him to cause his death, even devising plots to kill him. At this, it was said, say to them, what will it profit you whether we perish or we live by the grace of God? You should worry for yourselves as to how you will save yourselves from the punishment of Allah.
قُلْ هُوَ الرَّحْمَنُ آمَنَّا بِهِ وَعَلَيْهِ تَوَكَّلْنَا فَسَتَعْلَمُونَ مَنْ هُوَ فِي ضَلَالٍ مُبِينٍ.
Say to them, He is merciful, and it is in Him that we believe, and it is in Him that we put all our trust. Soon will you know who is in manifest error.
39. That is, we have believed in God, and you are denying Him. We have put our trust in Him, and you have put your trust in yourself, your own resources and false deities besides Allah. Therefore, only we deserve to be shown mercy by Allah, not you.
قُلْ أَرَأَيْتُمْ إِنْ أَصْبَحَ مَاؤُكُمْ غَوْرًا فَمَنْ يَأْتِيكُمْ بِمَاءٍ معين.
Say to them, did you even consider, if all the water that you have in the wells were to sink down into the depths of the earth, who will produce for you clear flowing water?
40. That is, does anyone else another beside Allah have the power to restore these springs of water to you? If none else has this power, and you know well that none has it, then who is worthy of worship, God or your false deities, who do not have the power to restore them? Then ask your own selves as to who is misled and misguided, those who believe in one God or those who believe in many gods.